Hey, good morning, everybody. Right before I start work today, I just wanted to talk to you about something that I think a lot of managers and leaders face, and that is, what do you do with an employee that you just cannot, you feel like you have absolutely no control over this person? I experienced a situation like this, and probably a lot of you as well. This video will be most useful if this is a person that you know firing this person is going to either be very difficult or even impossible. In my situation, my supervisor told me firing is not an option in this case. I had just released a number of people from their duties, and so we were going to try and make this work. So this video is really about what you can do as a supervisor to figure out how to work with somebody that it seems like it's impossible to work with that person. You can do it. So I want to give you guys all encouragement. It is possible to find a solution even in the most difficult situations. This is really about being empathetic as a leader, and I think the most important thing is to understand yourself as well as you possibly can. And then, as we'll see in this video, you really need to try and understand the motivations, the personality, the background, the situation of this person that you're working with that you find so difficult and so unruly to be around. Okay, so here's the approach that I came up with, and it worked for me. First of all, I think the most important thing is to just think about not leaving any stone unturned. You know, as a leader, it's not like you come to work and you just do your series of tasks. You have to deal with yourself and your own motivations and lack of energy and all of that, plus all of those of all your direct reports. So here's what I did. I left no stone unturned. I tried to find any way possible to understand this person's situation, to understand this person's motivations, why this person was acting the way that they were in meetings, why this person seemed to be torpedoing everything that I, as a new leader in this situation, was trying to achieve. And it wasn't until then that I actually came up with a solution. And this process, I want to say, took probably 6 months. I think the most important thing for me was to stop feeling threatened. So stop thinking about control and power. Stop thinking about yourself as the leader and think about yourself as another human being that's trying to figure out what's going on in this person's world. And that's very difficult to do, especially when you're a new leader. You take any sort of attack on your position or your statements or anything like that as kind of a threat. But you need to stop thinking in those terms. You're not gonna, your position's not under threat here, probably, right? It's not a threat to you. It is a threat to your performance as a leader. But that's why following all of these steps is so important, because they're probably, if you do all of this really hard work, you're gonna find a solution. So the first thing that I did was I really dug into this person's situation. I tried to put myself as much as I could in this person's shoes, so to speak. And once I started to do that, it was almost like doors in my mind were starting to open up as to like, okay, this might explain why this person is doing this, why they're behaving this way, why they react to my comments in a certain way. The other really important thing that I did was to go get expert help. I actually consulted with 2 different trained psychologists, and I explained situations that to me seemed very unusual that I had encountered with this person that I worked with. And after I explained these situations, the first person that I spoke to, the first professional, the psychologist, said this person probably has X, Y, and Z condition, which was a personality situation, personality disorder, let's say. And then I spoke to another psychologist, and that person confirmed independently the exact same probable diagnosis. I mean, they couldn't really diagnose this person because they didn't actually speak to them, but this person also confirmed that same probable reason why this person was acting out the way that they were. And so then I dug into that. I read entire articles about this condition. I scoured the internet. I spent a lot of time figuring out what makes a person with this condition tick, right? It wasn't a horrible thing. It's not like, the person needed to be hospitalized. It just made it it was an antisocial type behavior. So it made it very difficult for me and even for colleagues to interact with this person. And once I did that, this is like 6 months into the situation, I understood the mechanism that I was unwittingly participating in that created this sort of behavior in this person. And so then I just hijacked that whole scenario, that whole thing that made that person tick, and I changed it to my advantage. And from that point on, it wasn't easy, but I was able to change my behavior to make that situation better and to not feel, angry after meetings, to not feel like I was being threatened, none of that, because I really understood that person's situation. And quite frankly, after really digging into this situation that this person was living with, I started to feel empathy for this person, because at the end of the day, this person was suffering much more than they made anybody else suffer. And so once I understood that, and I also changed the way I behaved around this person, everything got a lot better. And so my message to you is, especially for new leaders, there's a tendency to feel like you have to be the one in charge constantly, and you're the one that has, control over everything. And if you have somebody who's not towing the line and falling in behind you, then it's some kind of threat to you. And that's not the case. People are only at work for like 8 hours, and they've got lives, they've got other things they have to deal with. And so you as a leader need to understand as much as you can the situation, even the life situation of the people that work with you. And really what it is, and this is what this whole channel is about, is becoming better leaders by becoming better people and understanding the people that we lead. All right, this is a pre-work video for all of you. So have a great day at work today, and go and be the best possible leader that you can. Thank you.